So we're in John chapter 8, starting with verse 33. John chapter 8, verse 33. Jesus has been talking to the Jews and trying to, again, show them that he is the Messiah that has been prophesied about. And yet they do not believe him, but some do. And I said to you that even like Jesus, everybody is not going to believe your assignment. Everybody is not going to believe what God called you to do. So you have to focus on the ones that do. You cannot let that hinder your progress by you focusing on those that say, I don't believe you. God didn't call you, or whatever they're going to say, because you see here in this story, this is what Jesus is going through. So some did believe on Jesus. And he said that if you continue in my word, then you are my disciples indeed, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So verse 33, they answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How can you say you shall be made free? Again, you're talking to someone spiritually, and they are coming back to you naturally. I say this again, when you're talking to people, you need to learn how to listen. Hearing and listening are two different things. When you have a conversation with whoever you're having, it's a good practice to learn how to listen. Now, I tell you again, listening is an art that you have to practice. Because some of you say, well, I listen, but you don't even let the person get finished what they're saying. There's no way you're listening. And while they're saying what they're saying, you're forming in your mind your comeback. So you're not listening. Listening is an art that we have to learn how to practice. And I'll tell you why. Because when you learn how to listen, your discernment will increase. Because you are not listening, the enemy can sneak into your life and get access to you because you think that a friend is an enemy and an enemy is a friend, because you don't listen to people. When you truly listen to what comes out of people's mouths, you will know who is for you and who is against you, because by their very mouth, they will tell you who they are. Their words locate where they are. If you are saying, I need you to agree with me in prayer, for example, and that person got to know every little detail, then by the time you tell them, they about on the floor, crying, upset, then you know that is not the person that you need to pray in agreement with. Why? Because their reaction shows you where their faith level is. Okay? Now, it's okay for you to have a little compassion, but you just can't lose it. Then I got to find somebody else to come into agreement with me, because the prayer of agreement, the whole word that means something there is agreement. Now, we can't be in agreement if I'm believing that I'm going to live and you thinking that I'm about to die. That is not agreement. That means you have to learn how to listen to what comes out of people's mouth, because it locates where they are, and not to just hear, because some of you hear what you want to hear. You should just refuse to listen. Now, Jesus knows where these people are based on the words that are coming out of their mouth. He said, if you are my disciples, you're going to be made free, because I am the truth. You will be made free. They're saying, well, we from Abraham is our father, and we ain't never been in bondage, which is a lie, because if they knew their history and go back far enough, they would know that they were definitely in bondage for 400 years. Okay? That God even told Abraham before he died that your people gonna go in bondage, but I'm gonna bring them back out. So again, they don't even know their history. But Jesus says, to verily, verily, I say unto you, verse 34, Whosoever commits sin is the servant of sin. That's where he's talking. I'm talking to you spiritually. Sin is a spiritual condition. The physical manifestation of your sin is just that. It is the fruit. The sin is the root. So Jesus is coming at them saying, listen, I'm talking about sin. Whoever sins, you are a servant to sin, and you're going to be a servant to somebody. And the servant abides not in the house forever, but the Son abides forever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. I know that you are Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me, because my word hath no place in you. I speak that which I have seen with my father, and you do that which you have seen with your father. So Jesus is saying, listen, you say Abraham is your father. But if Abraham was your father, you would not be trying to kill me. You would recognize me for who I am. They're saying, well, we are of Abraham and we ain't never been in bondage to nothing. He's saying, you're sinning because you want to kill me. He's saying, if the servant abides not in the house. No, ain't no servant gonna live in my house. They're gonna go to their house. But a son can live with you forever. He's saying, I am the Son, still trying to show them who he is. But some of them were not meant to believe him. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Jesus said unto them, if you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. Now that's good. That's good. Because whoever child you are, there should be some fruit. And you should resemble that father, that grandfather, whatever lineage you're in. He says, but now you seek to kill me, a man that hath told you the truth, which I have heard of God. This did not Abraham. You do the deeds of your father. Then they said to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one father, even God. Huh? They're like, oh no, God is our father. Jesus said unto them, if God were your father, verse 42, you would love me, for I proceed forth and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. People cannot understand you if they are not saved. Stop treating people like they are saved if they are not saved. Offer Christ to them. You know, it amazes me how people, you know, folks ain't right. And you like, well, just pray about it. Who are you talking to, by the way? I just don't even understand y'all sometimes. Can you at least offer salvation and get them saved first? I don't understand what you're talking about. It says you do the deeds of your father. Now, he said, if God were your father, you would love me, for I proceed, or I came forth from God, because he is the living word. You are of your father, the devil, circle 44. And the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and you know he was. Just think about Cain and Abel. And abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. Which of you convince me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do you believe me? Why do you not believe me? He that is of God heareth God's words. You therefore hear them not, because you are not of God. He's saying, not even Abraham, you don't act like Abraham. And they said, well, we're not fornicators. We are, God is our father. And Jesus like, no, because you're trying to kill me. Your true father is the devil. Now, Jesus, I don't know what Jesus y'all serve, but Jesus is not a wimp. These conversations amaze me. The way they play Jesus' character like he's so submissive to everybody. Jesus is telling them who they are, and that's why they want to kill him. He's saying your true father is the devil. He was a murderer from the beginning. But I'm trying to tell you the truth, and you cannot even convict. I am not sinning. I'm not doing anything wrong. Then answered the Jews, verse 48, and said unto him, say we not well that you are a Samaritan and you have a devil? So now he's a Samaritan, because Jews didn't get along with Samaritans. And you know, Jesus grew up in Galilee. And there was a mixture of Galilee, which those people were not Jews, all of them. There was a mixture there. Jesus answered, I have not a devil. So now they're going to tell Jesus he got a devil. He says, I have not a devil, but I honor my Father, and you do dishonor me. And I seek not my own glory. There is one that seeketh and judges. Verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man keep my saying, he shall never see death. He's talking about eternal life. Then said the Jews unto him, verse 52, now we know that you have a devil. Abraham is dead and the prophets, and you say, if a man keep my saying, he shall never taste of death. Are you greater than our father Abraham, which is dead, and the prophets are dead? Who are you making yourself out to be, basically? Jesus answered and said, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing. It is my Father that honors me, of whom you say that he is your God. Yet you have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say I know him not, I shall be a liar like you. But I know him and keep his saying. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. Then said the Jews to him, you are not yet 50 years old, and have you seen Abraham? Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. Then took they stones to cast at him. But Jesus hid himself and went out of the temple, going through the middle of them, and he passed by. So that ends our study of chapter 8. And you see there a dialogue between Jesus and the Pharisees, and they want to kill him because he is liking himself to God and being God's son. And they're like, you got a devil. And he's really talking over their heads because they don't understand who he is. They don't understand that Jesus is truly the one that they've been researching. And that just shows you how religious people are. They are quick to try to kill you if you do not do or say what they want you to say. And as leaders, you got to learn the difference between someone who loves God, no matter how well they know this word, because love cannot be counterfeited. Love. They hated him because he contradicted and he did not say what they wanted him to say. And people will hate you if you're in a ministry or if you're somewhere and you are not saying the same rhetoric that they're saying, you're not lining up with what they're saying, they are going to try to kill you. Will this kill your reputation, kill your ministry? And you have to be wise enough to know when to speak, when not to speak. But you also have to know when you have to speak and stand your ground. Jesus knew who he was. And so on this fast, you want to make sure that you're asking God, who am I? What is my identity? What is my assignment? How long is it? Where has deception crept in? Where I am believing a false identity that I have gravitated and grabbed onto, which is not me. And you got to know there are two types of people out here. People that are serving God and people that are serving the devil. And some people that think they're serving God, they are not serving God. And you can tell by the words that are coming out of their mouth. You can tell their words locate them. Okay? We all at some point were serving the devil, by the way. So don't be too hard on them. But we made that choice. And we want to make sure other people make that choice as well. So I'm finished with that tonight. I'm gonna stop here.